There's something many people experience quietly, often alone, and rarely talk about. A strange discomfort that doesn't feel like fear, but doesn't feel like peace either. You might notice it as restlessness, or irritation without a clear cause, or a sense that something feels off, even when, on paper, your life looks fine. You may have thought awareness was supposed to feel calming, grounded, enlightening, but instead, it feels unsettling. If you've ever wondered, why do I feel worse now that I see more? Or why does clarity feel uncomfortable instead of freeing? You're not broken, and nothing has gone wrong. In fact, this discomfort often appears at a very specific moment, right before awareness expands. There's a common misunderstanding about awareness. We imagine that becoming more aware means becoming calmer, that seeing clearly should feel peaceful. But awareness doesn't begin as peace. It begins as exposure. Awareness removes filters, and filters exist for a reason. They soften reality. They simplify complexity. They allow us to function without feeling everything at once. When awareness increases, those cushions begin to dissolve, and what remains can feel raw. This isn't punishment. It's not a spiritual failure. It's simply what reality feels like when it's less edited. Much of what we call comfort comes from not seeing too much. Habits, narratives, assumptions about who we are and how life works. These structures create psychological stability. Awareness gently but firmly begins to loosen them. And when that happens, contradictions become visible. You may start noticing how often you override your own needs, how certain goals no longer align, how some relationships feel subtly draining, how old beliefs no longer fit cleanly. None of this is new. It was always there. Awareness simply removes the anesthesia. One of the most important things to understand is this. Awareness expands faster than the nervous system can adapt. Your mind may recognize something as true long before your body feels safe with it. The nervous system doesn't interpret truth or growth. It interprets change. And change, to the body, often registers as threat. This is why increased awareness can feel like anxiety without a story, irritability without a reason. Fatigue that rest doesn't fix emotional sensitivity. Your system isn't resisting truth. It's adjusting to a new level of input. There's a gap that almost no one talks about. The space between realizing something and being able to live from it comfortably. In this gap, awareness has expanded, but identity hasn't caught up. You see more than you can yet embody. This creates friction, and friction is uncomfortable, but it's also temporary. Identity is not who you are. It's a structure built for navigation, roles, stories, self-images. Awareness doesn't attack identity, but it does stretch it, and identity responds the way all structures do under pressure. It tightens. You may notice self-doubt, mental resistance, judgment toward yourself, urges to retreat or distract. This isn't regression, it's protection. The self doesn't know how to dissolve gracefully. It resists before it relaxes. As awareness expands, misalignment becomes harder to ignore. Things you once tolerated now stand out. Conversations feel empty. Routines feel mechanical. Certain ambitions feel hollow. Not because they're bad, but because awareness has outgrown them. This is one of the most uncomfortable stages, because nothing may be wrong enough to justify change. Yet nothing feels right enough to continue unquestioned. This tension is not a mistake. It's information. After awareness increases, something surprising often happens. Momentum slows. Motivation drops. Urgency fades. You stop chasing. This can feel alarming in a culture that equates movement with progress, but expansion includes pauses. These pauses are not stagnation, they're integration. Awareness doesn't expand in a straight line. It moves in waves, and between waves there is stillness. When discomfort arises, the instinct is to fix it, to find answers, to take action, to make meaning quickly. But clarity cannot be forced. Trying to resolve awareness discomfort often delays integration. The system needs time to recalibrate. This phase isn't asking you to decide, it's asking you to listen. The key is not to suppress discomfort, but to stabilize around it. That means grounding the body, reducing overstimulation, allowing silence, simplifying inputs, letting emotions move without interpretation. You don't expand by pushing, you expand by allowing the system to settle at a higher level. Eventually something shifts, not dramatically, not explosively. The discomfort softens. The same awareness that felt irritating becomes spacious. What once felt destabilizing begins to feel clear. You don't become someone new. You become less divided, less effortful, less reactive, less constrained by outdated structures. Here's the part most people miss. Discomfort isn't the opposite of awareness, it's the threshold. If awareness feels uncomfortable, it's often because it's outgrowing its container, not because you're failing, but because something is changing at a deeper level than comfort allows. If you're experiencing this right now, restlessness, irritation, unease without explanation, nothing is wrong with you. You're not regressing, you're not losing yourself, and you're not broken. You're adjusting to a wider field of awareness. And that adjustment has a cost, but it also has a direction. Awareness doesn't expand forever in discomfort, it expands through it. And on the other side, what emerges is not perfection, but coherence.